Hey guys, my name is Divya. I'm a doctor and I've held a management role with a healthcare company for a while. So last week's video, guys, had a lot of traction and I filmed a video called Everything You Need to Know About the SHRM exam. It was all the questions that I've received in the last few months from all the viewers. So I compiled that in one video. But after that video, the number one question that I've got is, Divya, how would I know what the passing score is for the SHRM exam? So guys, I shared in the last video that nobody knows the actual grading system and how SHRM actually scores the exam. So don't worry too much about it and just move forward. The actual passing score is a 200. Nobody knows how that score is calculated. So don't dig too much into it. But then the number one question I received over emails and messages and comments is, Divya, how much should I be scoring on my mock exams, and how do I know that I'm actually ready to take the exam? So what I did, guys, I dug into my past mock exams and I took out all my exam scores, and I just wanted to share that with you right here in this video. So this is not a clickbait video. I didn't want to say that I know exactly how SHRM calculates its scores. I don't. But this is just to give you an idea. So here on the screen, you're going to be seeing my exam scores. My initial assessment score for the CP exam was 79%. The initial assessment for the SCP level exam score was 69%. It actually went down. The post-test for the CP level was a 74%. And lo and behold, post-test SCP level was also a 74%. So as you can see, guys, the post-test is the 2-hour exam that they have, and they only have 80 questions on the learning management system. If you have access to that, I think it's a good thing to just dedicate those 2 hours and take the post-test. It gives you a very fair idea of where you are. And then finally, I took the practice exam, which is scored by the learning management system, but they don't tell you where you went right and where you went wrong. And that was where I scored a 200. So this is the breakdown of all my scores. As you can see, they are not stellar in any way. I also want to share with you when I took these exams. So the learning management system and SHRM recommend that you take the initial assessments at both levels before you begin studying, but I did not do that. I didn't want to do it because I just thought that I'll fall short of exams and study material or mock test material. So I saved it till the very end. So I took the initial assessment once I was done studying the entire course once. I was more than halfway through the second time because I was reviewing and I was revising. So that's where I was when I took the initial assessment at the CP level. That was the 79%. And as you know, at the SCP level, a couple of weeks later, the initial assessment score went down. Yes, that is disheartening and discouraging, and sometimes you feel like you want to stop studying, but here is my proof. If you're at it, and even if your scores are not above the 80%, somehow everybody seems to think 80% is what you need on the mock exams, you will be fine. When did I take the practice exam? So I took the practice exam about 10 to 15 days prior to my actual exam date. And that is sort of important because time and again I've said in my videos that the last week or the last 10 days is really not for exam taking. It's really for just reviewing your notes. All the exam taking should be done prior to that. So I took it like 10 to 12 days prior to my exam date and I got a 200. There is no way to review those questions and answers because you don't know where you went wrong. There's no way that LMS is going to tell you that. It's really just a practice exam and exact exam settings. So just follow that and take it. Now, the number one comment I receive is, Divya, you got a 200 on the practice exam, so you're all set. So guys, let me share this with you. There are many people out there who've told me that they got a 200 on the mock and yet did not pass the SHRM exam. So the reason for that is simple, right? A lot of times we get overconfident, or a lot of times life gets in the way and we're not able to review and give it our best during those last 10 days or the last week. And that's what we have to do. The last mile of the marathon is going to be the toughest. While you're studying, while you're running, you keep running, you keep going, but then the last 2 weeks, last 3 weeks feel really, really tiring. You're already exhausted, but you have to make it to the finish line. So my number one tip here is follow certain pattern with the mock exams, but nobody knows whether you want a 70% or an 80% on the mock exams. It doesn't really matter. For the quizzes on the LMS, there are only 2 levels and there are only 5 to 7 questions per quiz. So I would target a 70 to 80%. The most important thing is not the score or not the percentage. The most important thing is that you learn from your mistakes and you reinforce what you got right. So review both your questions regardless of whether you got them right or got them wrong, and then move from there. So once again, I've shared all my scores. I really hope that this helps you guys. And if there are any questions and comments, guys, please leave it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching.